Welcome to the channel, 30 in 30 challenge. New video today, guys, is going to be one of those micro SD card repairs that I'm going to remember for a while. It's probably one of my favorite ones in 2021 that I worked on. Since then, a lot of cards came in with similar damage because I started testing for specific trace breaks in the micro SD cards, and I found out that a lot of them actually have that. Going back a year or 2 years ago, if I couldn't establish NAND protocol connection just by wiring the card to a known pinout, I was assuming that something internally is damaged. It could be the fact that internally it is damaged, but often enough I find that now, for some reason, there are issues that occur on the top surface level of the circuitry, and sometimes they do need to be repaired before NAND protocol connection can be accessed. This card came in from Europe. Somebody who watches this channel sent it in. I started to kind of go through a bunch of steps. This card was supposedly having issues due to water damage. I didn't notice any traditional water damage traces on it. Like, the card looked pretty good. I stripped it down, and that's when I noticed what you guys gonna see in this episode today, and that's what I kind of struggled with patching up for the first part of this video. I had to split this video into two parts, guys. Part 2 will come tomorrow, so don't miss that. And putting it all in one clip, it would just make it like an hour and a half episode. It's too much. So I split it in two. I think both of them will complement each other, but if you're not into watching a lot of soldering work, I just recommend just watch tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll summarize what you guys gonna see today, and the second part will be added tomorrow. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, guys, I'm doing a 30 in 30 challenge, 30 videos in 30 days regarding data recovery only. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, guys. Thumbs up, it definitely helps. I've been watching the stats, and I don't know if it's just the regular posts that are kind of helping it, but I see a lot of you guys are engaging in conversation. Enjoy the show. It's long. If you don't like them this way, let me know. If you like them this way, also let me know. So let's get it. So looking at this segment, this portion of the card, we see there's a lot of breaks in the traces. We have this one broken, we have this one broken. This is probably ground, so it doesn't really matter. It's ground. I won't care about that. This one broken, ground again, this one's broken, this one, like, here's where it gets interesting. You see how this line goes straight, but then we don't know where else it goes. It probably goes up and then down and then links here. So this via connects to this lane, this connects here, this connects here. So we need to just basically patch these up so that they are connected again how they used to be. So the point A gets to the point B, and once we get there, we'll have to make sure that connection is solid right across. So we'll run a quick test with multimeter afterwards to make sure that that's established. Doesn't look like too much work, but honestly, like, this is the thickness of the blade that can cut yourself pretty badly. And if you look at the thickness of the traces, it's not far from it. So working and manipulating a wire to make up those connections that have been lost is not going to be very simple, but it's all in the equipment at this point, and steady hand is something that you develop over the course of time. The equipment is something that you buy online. This is the wire I'm going to use. It's 0.01 millimeter, and that's what's going to make all these connections nice and pretty again. Another key thing here is flux. We're definitely going to need some of that here. Okay. Now, here, very critical is to avoid this another trace. And here's the magic point. We're not touching the wire, we're just gonna touch the trace. Ooh. Alright, we need to fix this wire now. So this one is going straight out here. So we're gonna run a jumper from this point to this point. Everything is nice, but I just want to make sure it's straightened out. There. Alright, so we've done this one. This one here we're not gonna fix because it's ground. We gotta fix this one now. And this one. And that one. This isn't the one. Okay, this one is probably the most technical one, because we're gonna have to go straight over the via and link here. Okay. Stack it in here. I'm gonna hope that it's gonna flex down. Okay, here's where we bent it out properly, but the thing is if I tack it in here, I'm very close to these two signals that I've already linked. If I didn't have one of them on top or the bottom linked, that would have been fine, but now I have to go a bit further and bend it down one more step so that we have a clear mount pad for it. Right there. Yes. Woo. No, what did you do? Why did you pull it? Shit.
This is why it's like you have to make these cuts almost every single time to make sure you don't pull the solder bond. Okay, I think this is very nice. This is cool. Looking good. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We gotta do this one. 7 and 8 and we're done. 7, 8 and done. Yeah. Woo. 2 more. Oh, this is going pretty well. The toughest ones are already behind us and finished. And the last one, guys. And only then we gonna test the card out and see if it's gonna work or not. I have a feeling that maybe it will even work on its own, but First trace and already a problem. If you have a look close into the scope, you see that there is actually two breaks, one here and one there, and our very tip isn't making contact. So we need to redo this connection. And test it again. Turn this off because it's getting really loud. Alright, let's test it again. I think now it should be good. So one probe on one end. Yep, solid. This is good. 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 Another one. That was another bad connection. Alright, that was a while. Took me a while to redo this one. The connection is already in place. It's the last thing you want to work on. I'm just gonna cross-reference it for the short to ground by any chance, or short in between each other by any chance. So because they're all coming out from this end and going into here, alright, this is finally it. I'm gonna check these once again. Good. All right. All right, so now let's get the cure light right on it. And let it sit like this for a bit. So now the card is cured, and we need to link this interface to this interface so we can use the adapter and plug it in and see what kind of response we get from the card in as is condition. If we get no response, it only adds a bit more complexity to the process, because we will have to work with the NAND protocol of the device. It keeps throwing this message that the card is locked. So the card doesn't want to initialize on its own through its native interface. We're going to have to establish NAND protocol connection with it and recover data that way. Some of these pads that had work done on them, they will need to be linked, but luckily for us they exposed to the other side right here as well. So unfortunately, through the native interface, this device does not want to initialize fully and give us access to the data. So we're gonna need to establish NAND protocol connection with the unit. Some of these pads that we had worked on are actually taking part in NAND protocol. But luckily for us, these traces extend to this side as well, so we can link to them through this half of the device. So let's wire it up and see if we can read it.
So I was kind of disappointed that it didn't work on its own, thinking that originally the card had failed because of those damages that occurred to the traces. Gave me hope that stitching them together would just bring the direct function of the interface, but this card is locked message is what we see on cards that are coming in an intact shape, but they're already problematic on the internal level. And that, I mean, there's no way for me to determine what would have caused that specifically, or say this is exactly why it's happening. Obviously the solution would be involving NAND protocol access, and that's what we're gonna do tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow, tune in. You're gonna see how this case evolves, what we do with it, and what the final end result is gonna be like. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.